thought, some of us who are old enough to remember, back about a decade ago, a very famous game the Cubs played. 40-some thousand fans had packed into Wrigley Field to see the Cubs, if they would win, go to the World Series, which they had not won since the early 1900s. And then it happened. A fan, nice guy, kind of a loner, an accountant, I believe by trade, was sitting right along the left field foul line, and a fly ball got hit. He didn't mean any harm. He did what you and I would have done. You reach out for the ball. Kids love to get a ball. Guys love to get a ball, get it signed. Unfortunately, as you know, if you know the story, he interfered with the play of one of his own players, and many would believe cost the Chicago Cubs the game and the World Series, and the death threats against him. This otherwise nice guy who had to go into hiding because he had interfered with the Cubs' chances, he is lucky to be alive. They would have crucified the guy if they caught him that night. Don't make any sudden moves, you know, but that's what people do. He wasn't looking for trouble. Jesus was. Jesus was looking for trouble. And if you've been paying attention, you can't help but notice it. 2 weeks ago he said, well, you know, the vineyard, we're going to take it away from you Jews, and we'll give it to the Gentiles. Ouch. Last week, you don't want to come to the wedding, you Jews? We'll get somebody else to replace you. Eventually he'll knock over the money changers' table in the temple. He calls them hypocrites. He criticizes the Jewish leaders. Sunday after Sunday we hear it. And they're going to crucify him. And they will. They do. They do. Jesus was not a peacemaker. Jesus had points to make, and he's going to make them. He was looking for trouble, and he found it. Do we? Should we? And you know what? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes, I mean, far be it from me to ever tell anybody how to raise your kids. I have none. But when the kid says, well, I don't feel like going to Mass today. Mass is not important. It's boring. It's irrelevant. Well, you can do one or two things. You can say, well, nothing. I'll let it go. And if he doesn't want to go, I don't care. You know, it's his life. It's his soul. I don't want to start any trouble. I don't want to be a meanie. You could do that, I guess. Or you can say, no, time out. This is important. And if you don't like me, or you think I'm being a meanie, well, that's too bad, but I'm going to teach you right from wrong on many things, but I'm just talking about going to Mass right now. And if you don't like it, I'm not here to have a popularity contest. I'm here to tell you the truth. And maybe they won't like it, and maybe they won't hear it. I have something to say here. There's a way to do it, there's a time to do it, there's a place to do it, but you got to do it. Or else you really are a meanie. Because if you don't help the kid understand, for example, that Mass is important, then he's never going to learn it. And his younger siblings aren't going to learn it. And maybe you're missing an opportunity to look at yourself and see how important this is. Now, if you want to be popular and not cause any trouble, let the kid do what they want. It's okay, I guess you can do that. Or you can say, no, I'm going to make a point here because I love you. I would say this. I would say to the kid, there's a fire inside every human being on earth. Call it the Holy Spirit, the soul, grace, call it whatever you want. And it warms a human being with the love of God. And you've got to know that. You've got to know who Jesus is, how he died for us on the cross. You've got to know, and you've got to come here, hear it, love it, and live it. Because there are other fires that also burn. Love and sex. And if our religion doesn't inform how love and sex are supposed to work, those fires will burn destructively. And we've all seen that happen. And when you can show the kid how the one impacts the other, he'll say, maybe this does matter. But if you say nothing, apparently it doesn't matter that much to you. Those of you who are parents, this opportunity happens, or grandparents, every day, I think. What's really important? Does this matter? Yeah, this matters. God matters. And I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to teach you the truth that will give you life. What belongs to God? Everything. Especially my soul. Let us stand, my friends, who will profess our faith in Almighty God.